Hey boys, overly hydrated octopus here. Jesus Christ, that was bad. Hey boys, how you doing? I hope you're enjoying Bowl Week so far. This is another bowl build because, hence Bowl Week, and we're going to be slapping these all week. So what is this, boys? This is another slapper. This one is a Frost Maiden Boa Sorceress build. This is not as good as the other ones you might see this week, but I definitely wanted to put it out there because it is just so unique. I haven't seen other stuff like it, and I think it's really fun. It's really fun. So it's not like Players 8 viable, but if you want to give this a whirl, if you got the Runewords and the gear to do it, it's fun. I do think it's worth it. So, stats, skills, gear, something or other, try not to ramble too much. So, level 99 Sorceress, yippity-doo-dah. Strength is 121. That is what we need to wield a Great Bow at 121. Dexterity is a little bit higher, so we need to make sure we're just meeting the Great Bow, because that's the highest required piece of gear. So, 107. Vitality, I personally put a little bit for overflow, so just a 75. And then energy is all the rest, boys. Hey. My res is not... it's okay. It's okay. It definitely can be a bit better. Some of my charms I did try and just chuck extra life and res in there because I wanted to. That's just how it is. I really fucked myself. Bro, my pants are wet, boys. Anyways, so we have enough sufficient life steal and mana steal. We're using where is it? Sorry. Oh, the ring is 6% there, and then the other mana steal we do have on the gloves. So we'll get to that in a bit. Down here we have sufficient increased attack speed, so we are going to be pew shooting at 2.5 hits per second. Hit recovery, we are sitting comfortably on the frame of 42% exactly. So that, gives us enough hit recovery. We only have 10 FCR. I'll get to that reasoning behind that later. And then further down here, boys, obviously cannot be frozen because we are melee. Little bit of pierce, fire skill damage, cold skill damage, enemy cold skills. Cold spells. We are putting 1.1 wonders all the way down here, only one into cold mastery, and then we're maxing out Frozen Orb and Blizzard because the main damage source of this build, boys, is we are shooting boys as a shooty boy, and we're proccing Frost Nova. So we're going to be proccing Frost Nova from ice here. Here we go. 25% chance to cast level 22 Frost Nova on striking. Alright? So we want to be shooting as fast as possible, consistently as possible, and piercing if we can, right? To proc as many Frost Novas as we can. So level 22, we can't... Unfortunately, since we're relying on a CTC, a chance to cast skill, we don't actually get any benefit from running cold skillers. So I've kind of flicked this to a form of hybrid fire cold bowsork just to give us a bit more backing damage to cover some areas, and it seems to be a bit more consistent than my first few renditions that I have been testing. So to finish off the skills, we are maximizing the damage for our Frost Nova CTC, so that is maxing Blizzard, maxing Frozen Orb. That is all we need here. With our gear, I feel like I have sufficient minus enemy cold res, so I've only put one in there to benefit from plus skills, and the rest I've just moved on to elsewhere. Lightning skills. I've just got 1.1 wonders here, boys, as I'm saving mine. And fire spells is the rest to pump out fire. So here you could see I've still got 15 left. I left that on purpose because I wanted to show for this build. So I've got just 1 point here, 1 point here. Maxing warmth as a synergy to enchant, and then I've got 1 into fire mastery. So with my 15 skills here, if I want to, I can bump out fire mastery even more for that extra backing damage. Or if I would like to, I can pump it out straight into energy shield if I feel like I need the survivability. So that's the kind of fence that you're sitting on at the end. But just for the sake of it, I'm going to do fire mastery because I want to. Gear, boys. Do you want to see my gear? I do. I'm on the gear. It's legal. Look at this. So ice great bow. Great bow is the fastest base we can get, right? We are using this for the Frost Nova. So we're going to be proccing this shit as often as we can. It's not the highest damaging skill out there, but it's definitely fun and it's cool. When it does cast, it doesn't cast from the center of your character outwards. It's wherever it procs. So you could be across the screen, shoot one boy, and if it pierces through a pack like once, hits one dude, and you can Frost Nova and slow the whole pack from range off screen, which is, it's just kind of cool. Kind of cool. Unfortunately, as I said, it is level 22, so we get no benefit from charms, but I mean, hey, we can fill that in with fire, as, you know, I kind of mentioned. What else is on here that is cool? Holy Freeze. Awesome on theme for the character. We've got sufficient attack speed, ignore target defense. It gives us a good chunk of cold skill damages as well as minus enemy cold res. And it's got a massive chunk of gold fine, which I always thought was very weird for this Runeword. But let's move on. Over to the chest, boys. You've probably seen this one before. Jeweler's full plate mail of the Nova Shield specifically. Not the Frost Nova one. We want the Nova Shield because it's the only one that matches the look of Nightwing's. So I like my characters to look kind of entertaining, you know, because there's no transmog in this game. So I enjoy it when I can fit something cool in there. So that's just me. So we have 15 increased attack speed here along with 3 facets. We need that 15 in either the helmet or the chest in conjunction with 20 in the gloves and then 20 IS on the amulet. That is going to allow us to reach 2.5 hits per second. So I did show here that our cast rate is lower, down to 10%. This is not ideal for like regular farming, but in this case, boys, I did state this build is not the strongest, so I wanted to do everything I can to like really maximize the damage. So we've got like a fire hybrid backing to really bring up our single target, and then we lowered our FCR to like minimum 10 FCR just for one ring, and then we're going to maximize our output. So that's my reasoning behind it. So High Lords we've got there. We can run Cat's Eye if you want. I just wanted a little bit more lightning res, so it puts me over positive, so 30. Boots is Sandstorm Trekkies, just a good one to chuck in for FHR spear stats. Raven Frost, Razortail gives us 33. 10 FCR ring with more mana steal is great in mana, just for general life. And then I crafted these, because why the fuck not, boys? We got Frost Nova on striking, right? Just a little bit of extra one, because why not? Increased attack speed is important on the gloves. I've got dual leech, but I guess just for the sake of it, you know, mana steal is more beneficial, because the more we pierce when we're hitting melee, even though it's not that much damage, boys, it's still, whatever we can get back for our energy shield, for our mana pool, it is beneficial, even though it might not seem like that much on paper. And then knockback on these gloves is super unique. I don't really need to explain any further, do I? And because I could, boys, I chucked on multi-shot charges, so we can throw a little bit of that out just for fun, I guess, right? On Switch, I do have a CTA and Archon staff. There's a few variants, you know, that you've probably seen me use and others use. I think in my other build video, I had like a CTA and a War Pick, and then fucking Spirit Shield Monarch. You can also go Memory and swap that out. It just depends. It always depends, like, how much do you want to, like, bother pre-buffing? If you have, like, one set piece that you're fine with, that's enough for you, then that's all good, you know? If you really want to dick it out, then you'll need to swap out and pre-buff and pre-buff and pre-buff again. But at that point, you know, make sure it is still convenient enough for you to really, you know, benefit using it, in my opinion. This is fine for what I feel like I need. And it's got +3 energy shield and +3 enchant, so it's a little bit higher. One thing to note for gear, depending on which area I'm farming, I've found that chucking in a wisdom is very good. Not only does that give us a little bit more pierce, it gives us a little bit more mana steal. It frees up Cannot Be Frozen, so if we want, we can change out the Raven Frost to reach, you know, one more 10 FCR to get 20 FCR. That's possible as well. Yeah. let's just leave on Nightwings for now. We can change it a little bit later, and then we'll play it as we go. Now, Mercenary, we have a Might Mercenary. Because our bow is ignore target's defense, we don't really need too much on the attack rating front. And if he hits harder, helps us hit harder, and, you know, we can leech a bit more to help sustain. Andes, Fortitude, Infinity, and a Man Catcher. What else do I need to say, boys? Other than let's pick a difficulty and then move our way up. Let's go to players 1, and then we'll go from there. Hey, boys? Arcane Sanctuary. So, with this, let's buff up Battle Orders and things. We've got Enchant is 40. So, not too bad. We chuck that on. Let's do Energy Shield. If I swap back, we can see we're sitting at 11k. So, for those wondering, Frost Nova does about 1500 damage when Conviction is applied to a mob. So, it's not massive. But as long as we're keeping our attacks regular and consistent, then we can do some damage. This is players 1 to start with. I had a few variants of this where I was going full cold and I had all small charms with cold damage, and it wasn't really cutting it. I mean, now that there's been like announcement for Sunder Charms, maybe I could try that in the future, boys. Maybe, you know, like cold damage might end up going a bit further, but there's only limited options we can really use to add +% to cold. Like this bow is great; it gives us +29. Chest, we can sock it with facets, and then obviously Nightwings. But that's it, boys. That's all we've got. Because the skill Cold Mastery gives us minus, which we don't really need. We don't need minus to enemy res. So you can see our attacks there are 2.5 hits per second, which is not too bad. Not too bad. We can reach slightly faster than the brand bow assault that I showed, because this ice bow luckily rolls with 20 increased attack speed, which is nice. Oh shit, here we go. Whoop. Let's kill this elite here, then move on, eh? Okay, let's move up to, you know what, I'll do it in the menu screen because I can't type. Too much pressure. Let's go to players 4, hey boys? And let's check out Lost City, because Ancient Tunnels is always a good one. Always a good one for the cold boys and girls. Oh. Oh. Alright, I'm going to change to the Wisdom just to show you the comparison. It does pierce a lot more consistently, more often. You can see all those Frost Novas, that was like fucking 5 in one go. And again, this is Players 4. Players 4, Lost City, Ancient Tunnels. Like several weeks back, you guys might recall my Frost Bear Sork video. That is kind of similar to this. In shapeshifting form, with a beast on switch and then actually hitting with an ice and a great bow. I realized after that type of build would have hit faster if I had it in a demon crossbow, but hey, might revisit that in the future. But anyways, that build kind of birthed this one on the side. I didn't really think it was good enough in the first two, like, very early concepts that I tried, and I ended up kind of releasing that video, which you guys saw. And I thought it was fucking awesome, running around as a bear, slapping novas and shit. But I thought, you know what, Bowl Week is probably a good excuse to go back and try and revisit it, see if I can get a nice build out of like different elemental types for the sorceress. You know, maining with primary bows, because I haven't seen anyone else try and do this, boys. Alright, where else can we go, hey? Maybe we could try Halls of Pain. Try and clear some of those out. Let me grab some arrows, though. I'm going to run out halfway through. That's a bit boring, isn't it? I'll clear a little bit of Halls of Pain right after Spider Cavern, because, I don't know, I'm distracted. But I will bump up the player count just to show you guys where it does start to fall off. I think it's okay in Players 4, where it is at the moment. Do you guys have this sometimes? Enchant just stops showing visually. Whatever. I do think this build is really cool. I really like it. I think it's so unique. And I haven't really built that many builds around the Ice Great Bow. So I was definitely going to release some type of version of this out to you guys eventually. I think it runs better as a hybrid. Focusing solely as cold damage as an output, it's really not something that is viable. I don't know if it will be. One of the main reasons being is, you know, you've got lightning mastery gives +%, fire mastery is +%. Fortunately, cold mastery is minus res. So trying to add it on kind of off meta sources of damage or ways to output your like cold damage, it gets a bit difficult to try and amp it up, right? As I showed before, we're socketing a plate here, which is pretty uncommon. It's on the same level as damage increases almost robes, for fuck's sake. So I think, I feel like I've come up with a decent kind of medium, splitting between like warmth enchant and then fire mastery as well. But it does make it very strict on skill point allocation as well as synergies. So as you saw with my energy shield and all of that, can't really afford to save points to put into there. Speaking of, let's chuck energy shield back up. Oh. Oh. You know, part of me was wondering, hey, should I re-record this, like, and make it on PTR offline for, just to show up with the Sunder Charm? I'm sorry, boys, I couldn't be bothered. I don't think this is good enough, even if you run it with the Sunder Charm. I think it's a really cool concept, but, yeah. Sunder Charm ain't gonna work for some builds, mate. And that's okay, boys. That's okay. Let's go over to Halls of Pain. Here we go. Oh. Load! Thank you. Oh. Oh. Like, it does okay. It's not super bad, alright? Well, let's finish it off with Players 8, boys. Hey? So it's just a show. Gameplay down here. Players 8. Yeah. Not going to be the best, but fuck it. Why not show it? Is that an antidote? I'm going to take that real quick. Don't mind me. Alright. Not sure if these fellas here were far away enough to actually spawn. Watch me get one shot, corpse exploded by Needlefuck. I want to see if I can kill him on P8. I don't know if I can with this. I have like I have like 0 energy shield. Oh, fuck. Okay, okay. Is he here? No. I know there's a certain way to find which way he is. Okay. I just can never be bothered learning it. Frost Nova, baby! Okay, maybe I do wanna redo this with the Sundered Charm. This is okay for P8. It's not. It's pretty shit, let's be honest. Oh, the ice spawn's immune to cold. I didn't consider that. Man, I thought here I was thinking I was still goated with the sauce, and I don't even remember immunities. Yes, boys. Woo! Alright, fuck the immunes. Well, I hope you boys enjoyed this one. This was a fun one. It was pretty frustrating to try and min-max. And I'm not really satisfied where it is now, but fuck it. It's cool. I think a few of you guys will definitely get a kick out of it. So, there you go, boys. Frost Maiden, Boa Sork, using the Ice Great Bow, shooting boys, proccing Frost Nova as main damage of, you know, ice. And then we've got Enchant as a kind of backing damage for single target. Thumbs up from me. Thumbs up from my Uncle Dave. I'll see you boys tomorrow probably with more because it's bowl week.